If I'm easy work, I heard him say I'm easy work. If I was easy work, you would take all that money that he's offering you. But yet and still, he want $200 million for Benavidez, and he want $150 million to fight me. So that just lets me know right there that I'm a threat to him.
Someone's reacted to that news. I don't know, or maybe it just fell through. No. But it sounds to me that the move to fight Jake Paul has just maybe derailed the other fight. But I don't blame Canelo Alvarez, because financially, the bigger fight is Canelo-Jake Paul. Yeah. Because in that fight, you've got two big stars. Yeah. In the other fight, you've got two great fighters and one big star.
Terence Crawford has responded to Canelo Alvarez after reports surfaced that their highly anticipated fight has been cancelled. What was expected to be one of the biggest showdowns in boxing history has now collapsed, leaving fans both frustrated and disappointed. Early negotiations seemed promising, with Ring magazine reporting that both fighters had agreed to terms for a major fight in Nevada this fall. The bout was poised to be a historic moment, bringing together two of boxing's most skilled and accomplished champions. However, fresh reports indicate that the deal fell apart due to unresolved issues between both sides. Now, it appears that the Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford fight is off, according to the Ring. But what led to this sudden breakdown in negotiations? While contractual disagreements may have played a part, a surprising new twist has emerged. Jake Paul, the YouTuber-turned-boxer, is facing heavy backlash for allegedly being a major factor in the fight's cancellation. Social media erupted with criticism, with many fans accusing Canelo of avoiding Crawford in favor of a potentially easier and more profitable fight against Paul. Boxing commentator Peep Games voiced his frustration on X, formerly Twitter. It's official. Canelo Alvarez ducked the #1 pound-for-pound fighter, Terence Bud Crawford. Canelo is now the undisputed biggest coward in boxing history, the biggest duck of all time. Many fans believe that Canelo's rumored fight with Jake Paul played a significant role in derailing the Crawford matchup. Instead of challenging one of the greatest fighters of his era, Canelo is being accused of taking the easier route, choosing a less risky but more financially rewarding fight against a social media star. Among the critics is Turki Alos Schick, the financial backer behind the Canelo versus Crawford deal. Schick, who has been outspoken about his disdain for YouTubers in professional boxing, has repeatedly expressed concerns that the rise of online stars in the sport is damaging its integrity. As tensions grow and fans remain divided, the fallout from the failed super fight has raised serious questions about the future of boxing. Will Crawford find another worthy opponent? Will Canelo address the backlash? And perhaps most importantly, is a fight with Jake Paul truly on the horizon?
And Terence Crawford, who should be a big star, but the reality is isn't. He's just an unbelievable fighter. So listen, everything can change overnight, as you saw.
Yeah.
So don't rule out Canelo Crawford. But as I'm hearing, Canelo Jake Paul is done, and I get it. Yeah, I'll watch it.
Mad old game. Eddie, always a pleasure, mate. Really appreciate the time.
Listen, buck up your ideas.
Some believe Canelo Alvarez's willingness to consider a fight with Jake Paul played a pivotal role in the collapse of negotiations for his highly anticipated bout with Terence Crawford. Fans had long been calling for Canelo to face IBF title holder William Skull in an attempt to reclaim his undisputed super middleweight status. That fight would have set the stage for a clash between two future Hall of Famers for all four belts, a far cry from a spectacle featuring a YouTuber whose most recent win came against a 58-year-old Mike Tyson. On X, formerly Twitter, Canelo Lesnar tweeted, "Do you honestly think Canelo would fight Jake Paul?" Although the exact reasons for the cancellation of the Canelo versus Crawford fight remain unclear, many insiders speculate that Crawford's strong words for Teo Lopez may have triggered a dispute. Canelo reportedly wanted Teo to be Crawford's next opponent before facing him. While the speculation continues about a potential Canelo versus Jake Paul fight, there is little credible evidence to suggest serious negotiations took place. World Boxing News had previously avoided fueling such rumors, but the conversation took a turn when the Crawford fight moved from T-Mobile Arena to Allegiant Stadium. Would Canelo really consider fighting Jake Paul? The idea of a four-division champion holding the WBO, WBA, and WBC titles stepping into the ring with a YouTuber seems highly unlikely. Las Vegas, a city known for showcasing boxing at its highest level, might not embrace such a fight. Yet, in the digital age, even a hint of interest can snowball into real-world consequences, often disappointing fans. Many in the boxing community have expressed frustration with how the situation unfolded. One fan criticized the sport's tendency to mishandle big fights, saying, "Boxing is a joke sometimes," announcing fights prematurely with no signed paperwork. Another fan summarized the disappointment. "They got us all hyped up, just to break our hearts in pieces." The excitement surrounding a potential showdown between undisputed champions from different weight classes has turned into frustration. Some fans speculated that contractual complications played a role in the cancellation. One user tweeted, "Rumor has it Canelo saw the fine print and realized the winner had to fight David Benavidez." Benavidez is known for his relentless style, making him a dangerous challenge for any fighter. If a mandatory bout with Benavidez was in play, it could have complicated the negotiations further. Not everyone views the cancellation negatively, though. Some fans believe Crawford dodged a bullet. One fan commented, "Crawford can't cut to 168. Taking that cash grab would have just tarnished his legacy." While Crawford is undoubtedly a generational talent, moving up 2 weight classes to face Canelo would have been a monumental challenge. Many feel the risk wasn't worth the reward, and staying in his natural weight class might be the best move for his legacy. For a brief moment, it seemed like negotiations for Canelo versus Crawford were progressing, but now that the fight appears unlikely, fans are left wondering what went wrong. The exact reasons behind the cancellation remain unclear, though the significant weight difference was a major sticking point. Meanwhile, David Benavidez has re-entered the conversation. In an interview with Ariel Helwani, Benavidez, fresh off his victory over David Morrell, expressed his desire to face Dmitry Bivol. If Bivol defeats Canelo in their rematch, it could shake up the division further.
Fight the winner of Beterbiev Bivol.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident. To be honest, the only thing that I'm thinking about is that if Bivol wins this fight, like what they would have to do a rubber match. You know what I mean? And like I'm just like thinking, who am I to say that they can't fight another fight because they fought 2 great fights. So that's basically the only thing I'm thinking of right now. But I would, if that's something like that would happen, I think I wouldn't fight until they get that done with, and then I would move into that fight after they have a trilogy. So that's really the only thing I'm thinking right now.
But that would be a long break for you. Like, let's say conceivably they fight again October.
Terence Crawford stands on the brink of cementing his legacy as one of boxing's all-time greats, with a rare opportunity to become a 3-division undisputed champion. Achieving this feat would place him in an elite class of fighters, solidifying his dominance across multiple weight classes. However, with Canelo Alvarez potentially out of the picture, Crawford now faces a pivotal decision regarding his next move. Rather than waiting for Alvarez, he could shift his focus to a series of unification bouts, proving his superiority by taking on other champions in the division. One potential opponent for Crawford is Sebastian Fundora, a towering and unorthodox fighter who has already exchanged heated words with him online. The two have traded verbal jabs, sparking speculation about a potential clash that could generate significant intrigue. A fight with Fundora would test Crawford against a physically imposing opponent, but many believe his technical brilliance and ring IQ would make him the favorite. Despite this, debates still swirl within the boxing world. Would Canelo Alvarez really risk suffering his 3rd career loss by facing Crawford? While some argue that Crawford's technical skills would give him the edge, others remain captivated by Alvarez's power, defense, and ability to control fights. The potential risk of a loss, especially in such a high-profile bout, is daunting for Canelo. The debate over weight classes also raises questions. Is it fair to ask a champion to move up 2 divisions for a fight? Some believe Crawford's skill could allow him to compete at a higher weight, but others worry the move would put him at a disadvantage against bigger fighters like Canelo. Amid all the uncertainty, David Benavidez remains a key figure in the equation. Known for his relentless aggression and punching power, Benavidez is one of the most feared fighters in the super middleweight and light heavyweight divisions. If he becomes undisputed at light heavyweight, it could make it even harder for Canelo to avoid a long-awaited showdown with him. As the boxing landscape shifts, fans are eagerly awaiting the next developments. Will Crawford pursue greatness by taking on another elite fighter? Will Canelo eventually accept the challenge? And will Benavidez continue to pressure Alvarez into the fight many believe is inevitable? One thing is certain. The future of boxing promises some explosive moments ahead.
We'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna rest and talk with my team. And like I say, everybody asking for everything. But and I always did. I always fight with everybody. You asking, so. But right now I'm in the position I can ask him to. So I'm in the position I can ask him to, and I can do whatever I want, and we'll see what happens next.
Terence Crawford spent nearly a year tirelessly pushing for the fight against Canelo Alvarez, aiming to secure a place in boxing history with one of the most significant showdowns of recent times. Throughout the negotiations, both fighters kept in close contact with Saudi boxing figure Turki Alos Sheikh, a key player in organizing major boxing events. Alos Sheikh was a vocal advocate for making the fight happen, believing it had the potential to be one of the most monumental matchups in the sport's recent history. With such high-profile backing, expectations soared, and many believed an official announcement was imminent, possibly at UFC 306 in September. The excitement reached a fever pitch when Crawford and Alos Sheikh addressed the fight during an Instagram live session, further fueling speculation. Fresh off his win over Edgar Berlanga, Crawford saw an opportunity to publicly call out Canelo and put pressure on the negotiations. Alos Sheikh enthusiastically responded, "Yes, let's go, Canelo. Come on, we are ready." Crawford made it clear that his intentions were serious. "You heard it from him, just put me in the game." Canelo versus Crawford, the biggest fight in boxing. But we stay ready, so we don't have to get ready. For a moment, everything seemed to be falling into place, and fans worldwide eagerly anticipated the historic fight. However, rumors began circulating about a potential fight between Canelo and Jake Paul. The idea of Canelo, the reigning unified super middleweight champion, fighting a former YouTuber-turned-boxer who has yet to defeat a ranked professional fighter was met with immediate skepticism and backlash. The notion seemed far-fetched, but as social media buzz grew, it turned into a serious topic within boxing circles. Fans were outraged by the idea of Canelo potentially entertaining such a fight, especially when a legitimate challenge like Crawford was on the table. Critics argued that a fight with Jake Paul would be a cash grab, undermining the sport's integrity in favor of a spectacle-driven event. Despite the backlash, the rumors persisted, and the conversation only grew louder. Whether Canelo truly considered the fight remains unclear, but the unpredictability of modern boxing continues to captivate and frustrate fans alike.
Not official, but it may be a done deal. Terence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez. Early thoughts? What do you think?
Yeah, look, the first thought is, can he handle the weight jump? Can he handle the weight jump? He being Crawford. Against Matt Rudolph, people are going to say, oh, he had some hiccups. Who don't have hiccups? When you eat something that's a little difficult to eat, and Matt Rudolph was a little difficult to eat, he's not easy to digest. He's a good fighter. When you eat something that's a little tough to digest, you get hiccups, right? So, come on, he's human. So he had a few hiccups. He won the fight. He's Terence Crawford. A lot of people say, oh, Teddy, you make him so good. You're always saying how great Crawford is, but who's he beating? He unified the, what was his first division? Lightweight, then he unified the junior, then he unified the junior welter, then he unified the welter. I think I got the weight classes right. It doesn't matter.
For now, the true outcome of the fight takes a backseat to the frenzy of speculation surrounding it. What's truly remarkable is the amount of attention generated purely by rumors, a testament to Jake Paul's ability to generate buzz. Amid the chaos, boxing analyst Che Eyes the Adult weighed in on the rumored fight, offering valuable insight. He emphasized that a Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez fight would far outshine any matchup involving Jake Paul. Canelo needs a May opponent who poses no real risk to his record or reputation, said Che Eyes. The real fight is Canelo versus Crawford. Canelo is the heavy favorite, but that's the fight everyone wants. You don't want that fight jeopardized from a business perspective. Che Eyes suggested that a Canelo versus Jake Paul fight might actually generate more money than a bout with Crawford, despite its lack of credibility. That's the world we live in. What am I going to say? He said. acknowledging Jake Paul's polarizing image and how it guarantees interest. The controversy surrounding Jake Paul's involvement in boxing continues to fuel his relevance. Some fans have even begun to view Canelo Alvarez as a superhero figure, believing that a fight with Paul would serve as a much-needed lesson for the social media star. This potential matchup has generated curiosity, with fans eager to see how it would unfold. MMA journalist Ariel Helwani also weighed in, commenting on the financial impact of such a fight. If this is true, what a freaking year for Canelo Alvarez, 2 gigantic paydays, Helwani noted, acknowledging the financial potential of both a fight with Jake Paul and Terence Crawford. The speculation continues to dominate social media. One thing is certain, Jake Paul's ability to generate controversy keeps him in the conversation, regardless of whether fans approve of his involvement in the sport.